Okay, what's annoying me this Wednesday? It's WTF Wednesday. What are the facts Wednesday? Um, and today I want to talk about something. Who would have thought that being a nutritionist could be controversial? It's amazing to me. To me, nutrition is a branch of science where we're trying to find the truth about our biochemistry and our metabolism and put together all the best ideas based on evidence, based on proof, scientific proof, so that we will eat the best way to ensure the optimal health and limit our metabolic aging and the associated diseases that go with it. And yet somehow there are such broadly, widely divergent versions of what we should consider to be a healthy diet, and people who get wedded to one or other of these versions to the point that they treat it almost like a religion. Welcome to SHAPEFIXER. I'm Andrew. I am a nutritionist. I have a point of view. I have a preferred dietary pattern that I talk about often, that I recommend to my clients. And it's based on my ongoing study, trying to keep up with all the latest research as much as possible, applying an honest, open, scientific mind to that research, not coming in with a preconceived preference or preconceived idea. I'm not loaded with any kind of vested interest. I want to follow the science as honestly as I can. And because of the nature of science and the ongoing studies, we learn new things on a regular basis. And every time you learn something new, it has an effect on what you thought you knew before. So your knowledge will evolve, it will grow, it will be tweaked now and again. So the things I say to my clients now won't be 100% the same as what I was saying 2 years ago. There will be some differences. But we're all aiming for the same thing. We're all aiming to be healthy. We're all aiming to cut our meds. We're all aiming to be fitter and happier so that we can make the people around us happier. So why is it that we don't all understand the same thing? If the science is the science, if biochemistry is biochemistry, if metabolism is metabolism, and we're all humans, so we all have the same metabolic pathways, how is it possible that we have such widely different teachings in our communities and in our society about how to be healthy? It can only be because not everybody is open to learning and changing their minds and looking at the evidence and understanding that nutrition is a science. Science doesn't care what your religion is. It doesn't care about your ethics. It doesn't care what language you speak or what part of the world you grew up with. It doesn't care what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat. It doesn't care. And those things are important. So what I would say is we need to keep a very open mind and really understand the science and get to the bottom of the metabolic effects on our bodies of all the chemicals that are in all the foods we eat. And food is just a bunch of chemicals, compounds. Understand what they do, understand what we need and why we need it and what will happen to us if we are deficient. Then, once we understand that and we've accepted what is good for us, what is harmful, and what is in between that doesn't really matter, then, and only then, allow your religious beliefs, your ethical viewpoint, your cultural preferences, your personal tastes to influence and modify how you go about getting your nutrition. But don't use your cultural viewpoint or your religious viewpoint or your ethical viewpoint as your starting point, because then you are cherry picking the science and you are looking for reasons to justify eating the way you actually want to eat because you prefer it for some reason other than your metabolic health. And I think this is why we have so many different ideas. Now, I did a video a little while back about the vested interests in nutrition, and this is a different problem. This is money. It's big food companies, it's big pharmaceutical companies, it's big agriculture wanting to influence the debate in their favor because of the enormous amounts of money they make from processed food, from mass production of easy to produce food that lasts a long time on the shelf, and medications that in a way go with it because we're so unhealthy, we're permanently medicated, and once you get over the age of 50, you're on maybe a handful of medications which are almost invariably for the rest of your life. They're not cures, they're management chemicals. I don't even want to call them treatments, but I guess they are because they will mask some of the symptoms. So you carry on eating wrong, somebody makes a lot of money out of what you eat, then you are medicated to try to tamp down the negative symptoms of eating that crap food. Then those drugs cost you money too, and you are supporting this entire financial ecosystem around bad nutrition. And if you do honestly follow the science and think for yourself and keep an open mind, and you will figure out, like I'm trying to figure out, or figuring out on an ongoing basis, what really matters, what's really good for you, and what really works. Now, there'll be a lot of arguments about things like, oh, have there been any randomized trials and long-term studies? And I have a couple of things to say on that. There have not been any to prove that you need fiber, for example. But we all just believe it because we were told it 50 years ago. There is not a single study that proves that saturated fat causes heart disease. Absolutely nothing. There are no, and there could have been, I mean, there have been studies, it's never been proved, but we believe it. And yes, some of the new ideas that have come out of the latest science have not had formalized, randomized, controlled trial studies over a 20-year period because the knowledge hasn't been with us for that long. But you have anecdotal evidence, and an anecdotal evidence means a person's personal story. But if you get enough personal stories, voila, you have data. So the data is out there. So I would encourage you to keep an open mind. Personally, from my own studies, I am now very much of the persuasion that a carnivore diet is absolutely the best diet. I know it firsthand from my own personal experience. I know it secondhand from the experience of my family and my close friends. And I know it thirdhand from my clients and from case studies that I've read. And if you read enough case studies, even though they are anecdotal because they're one person, not a group of 2,000, if you read the individual case studies or the individual stories of 2,000 people, you have 2,000 people in your survey. So, as Dr. Chafee said, the plural of anecdotal evidence is data. Also, of course, when you try it and you have such remarkable health results, like, I mean, truly remarkable in terms of mental health, energy level, weight control, hormone control, blood tests that show diseases sorting themselves out, metabolic diseases, which are invariably dietary diseases, then don't tell me not to be healthy for 18 months because who knows what's going to go wrong with me in 20 years. Hey, on the standard diet, I know what's going to go wrong. I'm going to be fat and diabetic and have a heart attack. So it's not that complicated. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel and watch some of our other videos where we go into some of the more commonly misunderstood aspects of nutrition and talk about the science and talk about the evidence and open your mind to it and think about it and try it and see. And if you are struggling and you've been sick for a long time and you've been on a lot of medication and you're sick to death of it and you don't really want to be on pills the rest of your life, you can't lose weight, you can't get rid of your arthritis, you've got immune system problems, seriously think about a 2-month or 3-month trial on a carnivore diet. That's all. That's all you need. Now, you won't get perfect health in 2 to 3 months, but you will get such massive benefits in terms of weight, energy, pain, stiffness, and all the other symptoms, and you will know that it's working for you. So you give it a try. So what? And when you get kickback from people around you who are saying things to you about fiber and fat and saturated fat and heart attacks and carbohydrates and everything else, you don't argue. You just do your 2 months to prove it to yourself. I started a carnivore diet to prove that it was wrong. That's actually why I did it. I was very in favor of ketogenic diet, and obviously a carnivore diet is a version of a ketogenic diet. And I was prescribing generally a ketogenic diet to all my clients, and you do get great health benefits from moving from a standard Western diet to a ketogenic diet, which means cutting out sugar. But I had so many people saying you should try carnivore, and I didn't really see the need for it. And I was worried about my gut and my microbiome and my fiber. And anyway, I tried it. And I was going to do it for a month because I thought that should be long enough to show what the problems are. And it's been 1.5 years now. I have not eaten a piece of fruit or a vegetable in 1.5 years. And I am feeling better and better and better and better month by month. Thank you for your time. Keep it real. Keep it honest. Look at the science. There's no need for us to be shouting and screaming at each other and making it personal, because it isn't personal. Science is not personal. Science is just the way nature works. And when we understand how it works and we understand the biochemistry of it all, the nutrition decisions actually become quite easy. Now, if you want to, you can use the link below this video to go into my website, to make an appointment, to have a consultation, a one-on-one consultation with me. You'll send me answers to some questions. I'll spend about an hour preparing for it. We then talk for an hour. I then spend another half an hour sending you a summary of everything we talked about, and I will guide you along this journey. That's if you want to. Or you can just subscribe to this channel and work through the backlog of videos that we've made, covering as many aspects of this as we can, and we will continue to make ongoing videos. So if you subscribe, you will see them as and when they come up, and you can create your own life now. You're not dependent on doctors and medications. You can decide for yourself what you need to eat, and you can be as healthy as possible.